Hi. Um, yeah, I got the wiggles. I don't know about you, but the last couple of days since before the new moon, I've just been wiggle, 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 which is actually quite lovely because I tend to run on the lower energy of the scale, uh, or I tend to dip in and out. So the fact that I'm like, oh, what's going down? And it's great, super activated. Hi, Hillary from Porter. If you don't know me, but you might, but just in case you don't, yeah, hi. I wanted to come on and say hello, which I think I've done now 3 times, and just say hello. Also, pull a card. It's the new moon. Good time to set intentions. I also am a firm believer to follow what moon cycle works for you, right? So, what moon cycle works for you? I mean by that, some people are like, oh, set intentions on the new moon, and then things come to completion on the full moon. But if it feels the opposite to you, do that, right? I am finding right now feels very, very potent. I'm currently in a space, a sacred vessel created or suggested by my guides, the seven sisters. And this is just about the middle. This would be the middle because the end is on the equinox. So, yeah, it really feels like a time. Super activations happening. Um, Last night, very, very firm intentions set. No, that's not it. Not very firm intentions. Very feeling settled intentions set with my partner. Um, Lots of light codes. Crystal implantation. It was I have to take a look in my crystal Bible because I'm not quite sure what kind of quartz it was, but quartz implanted right at the base of the skull, down the top part of the spine. Super activated, super activated. Very strong astral intimacy connections, which I want to touch base on, but I think I want to do it when my partner, Derek, my divine partner, is with me, and we'll do a live together about that. But if you want to hear more about that, I'd love to know because this is something that we've been wanting to share for a while, but about how astral intimacy, what that actually means. So, not Tantra, but how connection opens up the vortex to the divine, how intimate connection through the sacred portals, um, and the root and the sacral chakra, as well as the other chakras, how they actually help you connect further into the divine. Yeah. So if you want to hear more about that, please drop me a line. Please let me know. Because I'm putting out the feelers right now to see if that's something that people would actually be interested in. So I usually pull I used to, I'm not going to say usually lately, move and everything. By the way, welcome to the mandala room. This is where all the magic happens now. Not all the magic, but a lot of the magic. But I used to pull a card before the transformation happened. It took me a couple months, and then post it on the new and the full moon. But I thought I'd do it live today. The light codes are also pretty strong, so some of those might come out for us. If you have any questions that you would like some clarity on, or you'd like me to pull a card for, which you would like some downloaded light codes, the guides are like, yeah, let's do it. So if that feels aligned for you, please feel free, drop me a question, and let's just go for it. Yeah. Okay. So when I shuffle the cards, regardless of what deck it is, how I choose the card is I don't place it down and then whatever card's on top after I've shuffled it. For me, I keep shuffling until a card gets stuck. So literally I'm like shuffle, 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 and then I go to, and I'm like, right? It's stuck right there. Or I'll be shuffling and the card will just jump out. Sometimes it's multiple cards, and so there's multiple messages. So as I was shuffling and as I was talking, this one's so pretty. I haven't actually pulled this one out of the deck. I've seen it, but I haven't pulled it. So let's take a look at it. I have the lovely little handy dandy book because I feel that there's stuff that can come through ourselves, but there's also wisdom in the stuff that they give us, in the books, in the, I want to say good or bad, in the more powerful decks, or the decks that I've felt aligned with. So, okay, who decided to be sticky? So for this next little while, which I want to say, it's actually not just a couple of weeks. This next while is this month block. So it's between now and the equinox, which also kind of feels like the beginning of the year for a lot of people. September, it's kind of been culturally ingrained, for many of us because of the school year. But outside of that, for myself, it feels like the beginning of the new year, because this is when I would usually go to Burning Man. I went for about a decade, and it was that moment of rediscovering myself. And in the very first year, crazy potent like medicines. This was way back before it became so huge. And then every year it'd be like, yes, live with those principles through the majority of the year. But then near the end of the year, like August, all of a sudden you'd be like, what am I doing? And you'd lose those pieces of just the expression, and just being like, who cares what I wear when I go out? And like gifting and helping others and leaving no trace and all these things. And so a little bit of the residue might start to build back up, and so it'd be a reset in September. So that's very much for me, especially when the heat hits and the dust comes in and you're just like, right? Like I get a little, maybe that's why I'm so activated tonight. But who do we have? We have 10, which is end of a cycle. Well, 37, 3 plus 7, 10. Lion spirit. So be generous of spirit. I absolutely love these cards. What are these cards? These are these cards. The Spirit Animal Oracle. I'm quite drawn to these cards. They're very, very gorgeous, with mandalas and sacred geometry imposed on the animals. I don't know how well you can see that, right? So lion spirit, be generous of spirit. There's this like regalness to the lion, right? And there's this power behind there of like, don't fuck with me. But at the same time of just like, hey, it's a cat, right? And just like, hello. But just, oh, like that feline quality of like, you want to go over and be like, hey, how's it going? But then they're like, these are my boundaries. This is the other thing. Be generous of spirit with healthy boundaries. Cats know their boundaries. We know this. They know when to say, hey, can I have some love? And when they're like, no, thanks, I'm good. And you still love them anyways. Unless you're a dog person, then maybe you don't love them. Oh, I'm a bit of a cat person. You might have seen Rosebun come in. She's downstairs. I'm surprised she hasn't come up yet. Usually when she smells Palo, she gets up in here, or hears me doing light code, and she's like all up in here, and she'll like enter the video and bring gifts for everyone. And oh my gosh, she's so funny. So should I read from the book too? Let's read. Let's see what else they say. And it was pulled face up. So this book talks about face up versus face down. The protection message is the face down. Again, pull the cards the way you feel you want to pull them. Read them. Read the book if you choose to, or you're like, no, this is what this is saying to me. Or if you want more info, or just sit with the card. Don't even look up anything. Do you feel that the upside down is a protection message? If you pulled all your cards upside down and you're like, well, actually, maybe they're actually the other way, right? There's no one right way to spirit, right? And by to spirit, I mean like to be spiritual. There's no one right way. It bugs me when people are like, if you don't do it exactly this way. I mean, I should put the caveat on that guy. The caveat on that guy is there are some ways that you will get more power out of things than others. And I'm talking also about if you're going into like some of the Wiccan practices or the witch realm stuff. There are certain ways to respect. But when people are like, if you're not doing yoga every day and you're not a vegetarian, then you're not spiritual enough. And you're just like, did you ask me my reasons? Okay, ready? To the book, see? All activated. A healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion spirit's appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. Healthy boundaries. So important. You are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire, and delight. Oh, please delight. Be proud yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you will find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing that you have been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Lion Spirit knows there is a great savannah before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique set of gifts if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. All your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humility and kindness. What a blessing you can be to all. This reflects the sessions that were happening yesterday during the Esoteric Open House were about doing without expectation. And if there's that, well, I'm going to do this so that then there's an expectation attached. Yeah? There's an expectation attached. I'm going to do this so that or I'm going to do this because this feels aligned for me with my heart. I'm doing this out of generosity of spirit. There's no expectation that they will return the favor. There's no expectation that they will react the way I want them to react. I'm just doing and gifting because it feels good. Yeah. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, while this is rolling, or if you're watching the replay and you're like, dude, I got a question, hook it up. Okay. Light codes. Like I said, they've been strong. They're trying to come through a little bit here. By a little bit, I mean potent. They're actually, so this is my first, like I said, my first day with the crystal implantation. Implantation? It's making me think of a plantation for some reason. It's making me think of a cotton plantation. I don't know where that's gonna go. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take a minute. I don't know if you can hear that. I have the window open, and I kind of like the summer sounds that happen when people are out and kind of bustling around. So you might hear some of that coming in. Plus, it's hot in here. Okay, tuning in. So we're going to connect to that point, the base of the back of our neck. Follow the spine down just until you hit between your shoulder blades. We fill that space with light. We fill it with light. On any color you want. We're going to do the same thing to our third eye. Also where the ajna points are within esoteric acupuncture. Circling that third eye. So you can either picture it circled and filled with light or 4 points in a diamond shape. We're going to take that point from our spine, just between our shoulder blades, and we're going to draw a golden thread up to the base of the skull, right where that beautiful cleft is. We're going to connect that point to the point we already have visited with the third eye. And we're going to take those 2 points that we've just filled with light at the base of our skull and our third eye, and that's going to form the bottom of a triangle. We're going to connect that to the top of our head to complete that full triangle. And this opens up us to the Antakarana, to the rainbow bridge, to our higher self state. And settle in. Let's see what comes. Or since what is stopping you? Or since there's that one thing that has you stuck stuck so firm you can't even move. Heavy and dark. So dark, it has you hunched over. I'm getting this image of like hunched over and where you just are like holding your knees on itself, curved in protections, against all that feels out of control. Feel that glow of light right in that hollow that you have curved around. Fill it with light. Fill it with light. Fill it with light. So much light that you feel it pulling yourself up and back. The light is so bright. So that when you look around, you see that the shadows are the fears that you have been told to believe, but are not your truth. And with this light, fill it with light. Fill it with light. You can see where you have control. But it's not control. It's not power over others. But it is your power in the direction that you go. You see, parallel to you are others on their light path. It's this golden light path. But you must stand. So that you may start one step at a time. You feel yourself stretching up. You feel your spine strengthen as it fills with that golden light. Upon which you walk upon. Now it's easy to go back into this. You can feel the memory within your spine. That memory will fade. As that light grows more. Every time you breathe in, feel your spine fill with light and feel it strengthen until it emanates from you. When you look around, you see that the others that are parallel to you also are glowing with this light. And as you feel your light more, I'm getting this image of like so the orb around you and the orb around the people that are working parallel to you or get so big that they are holding hands. These big orbs are holding hands with each other. So still independent. But connected. That is the key. Still connected. Yeah. This is the place to connect from. It is the collective that creates the whole. The whole of you and the whole of consciousness. Yeah. I get so activated through those that I never quite know what to say at the end. I have some time. I would love to hear. It always feels so like, I don't want to say non-substantial, or piddly was the word that came into my head, but I'd love to hear how that vibrated through you, reverberated through you, what that brings up for you, if you feel called to share. Yeah. Messages of spirit. My Palladian guides, 7 sisters. Yeah, so Friday is a group healing. So some of what you heard here happens then as well. It's a crystal activation. It's done over Zoom. And I absolutely adore them and the connections that are made when they happen, and the hilarious connections that are made. The one group healing, we had chickens come up. One had a cooked chicken. One had a chicken floating out of an oven. One had a chicken that was alive, just kind of walking around. We've had connections of people that have never met each other over places that they've visited. So they've met each other on the video, but all of a sudden one's like, yeah, I'm seeing Australia. And the other one's like, oh my goodness, you know, that's where I was. And I went for this, and, excuse me, and all these things. And it's just, it's great. It's mind blowing. And then, because remember when we do, when we put in the effort and we do the shifts, those shifts, like I said, collective, right? We're holding hands with those other people. And so when we create shifts in ourselves, we affect change with those around us. So I invite you to join us if you feel called to. You can send me a DM or head on over to the link in my bio. It's the Sacred Group Activation or Sacred Healing Activation as well. I hope you're doing well. I hope your light is strong. And I hope you're not afraid of diving into your shadows, because that is where a lot of the healing lies. Okay, so much love and stardust. It's time for me to go make masks now, because that's what else I do. Here if you need me, and we'll talk to you soon.